Ever feel like just tossing your resume into a volcano?
Into a volcano?
Like it's just going to disappear anyway. You spend hours on applications and then nothing.
Oh, I totally get it. Like sending it into a black hole, it's so frustrating.
It's the worst. And I feel like it's only getting harder with all this AI stuff they're using in hiring now.
Yeah, everyone's talking about AI. It's definitely changing the game.
Okay, so tell me, is AI going to steal my dream job?
I mean, it could make things tougher if you don't know how to work with it, for sure. But honestly, think of today as your crash course on how to actually use AI to your advantage in the job hunt. We're diving deep into a platform called RoleCatcher today.
RoleCatcher. I've heard that name floating around.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying it's the tool to use these days. What's the deal with it?
So RoleCatcher is all about understanding how this whole AI hiring thing works so you can kind of beat the system.
Beat the system. Okay, now you've got my attention, but first, let's break down what AI-driven hiring even means.
Basically, it means software is doing a lot of the initial screening. Think scanning resumes for keywords, picking out the best ones for the hiring manager.
So instead of a human reading my resume,
You've got an algorithm deciding if you even get through the door. It's like having a robot bouncer at a club.
and if your resume doesn't have the right buzzwords, you're out of luck.
Exactly. But that's where RoleCatcher comes in. They have this job spec analysis feature that's seriously cool.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
You literally upload the job description, and RoleCatcher's AI picks it apart, shows you exactly what skills to highlight on your resume.
Oh, so instead of guessing what they want,
You know exactly what to put on there to get noticed.
that's amazing. But what about, like, being truthful? Isn't tweaking your resume to match the job description kind of misleading?
I hear you. You definitely want to be ethical. But think of it like this. You have all these skills, right?
Right.
RoleCatcher just helps you showcase them in a way that an AI understands.
So it's more about strategy than, like, making stuff up.
Exactly. It's all about strategy. And speaking of strategy, RoleCatcher has another feature that helps you tailor your resume even more precisely.
Oh, tell me more. Because I am all about tailoring these days. My closet is full of things that don't quite fit,
Yeah.
and so is my resume, metaphorically speaking.
I feel you. Well, their scored CV resume feature is like having a resume expert on call 24/7. You upload different versions of your resume, and RoleCatcher scores them against different job descriptions.
So you can see which version is the most robotically appealing, let's say.
You got it. No more second guessing yourself or sending out the same generic resume to 100 different companies.
Oh my gosh. I wish I had this when I was applying for jobs a few years ago. So much wasted time and effort.
Hmm.
But okay, we've tackled the resume black hole. But what about everyone's favorite topic? Networking. It's like you need to know someone to even get your foot in the door these days.
Networking is definitely still important, but it can be so overwhelming and awkward, right?
The worst.
RoleCatcher gets it. Remember we talked about AI being like a robot bouncer? Well, think of networking as knowing the VIP host at the club.
So instead of waiting in line with everyone else.
You get to waltz right in because you know the right people. And that's what RoleCatcher helps you do.
Okay, you're going to have to elaborate on that one because I need all the help I can get in the networking department.
No problem. Their network feature is all about making your existing connections work harder for you. You import your contacts, like from your email or LinkedIn, and then you connect those people to specific jobs.
Okay, that makes sense so far. It's like organizing your contacts, but with a specific goal in mind. But how does that help me get a job?
So then RoleCatcher does this amazing thing where it visually maps out your network's reach within companies or industries.
Hold on, I need to visualize this. So it's like a map, but instead of streets, it's people and companies.
Exactly. You can see who you're connected to, where they work, and how close you are to the companies you're targeting. It's like LinkedIn on steroids, but way less awkward.
Okay, less awkward networking sounds like something I could get behind.
And this is where the linked data magic comes in.
Linked data. Okay, now you're just using big words to make me feel like I need a PhD to get a job these days.
No, it's not that complicated, promise.
Okay, good, because my brain is already at max capacity.
Basically, it's about finding those hidden connections. Remember, it's not always about who you know, but who they know.
Right, it's all about who you know, or rather, who knows someone who can get you hired.
Exactly. So RoleCatcher looks at your network, but it also looks at things like your skills, the jobs you want, even the companies themselves. And it helps you see those links, those hidden connections that you might not even realize are there.
So it's like a matchmaking service, but for your career.
Exactly. Instead of swiping left and right, you're using data and strategy to find your perfect career match.
Okay, that's actually kind of genius. I'm starting to see why everyone's raving about this role catcher thing. It's like having a whole team of career coaches and strategists in your back pocket.
Exactly. And it gets even better. Remember those pre-interview jitters we were talking
Ah,
about?
don't even get me started on those. Sweaty palms, racing heart, the works. It's not a good look.
RoleCatcher has a solution for that too.
Please tell me they have a feature that can calm my nerves on demand.
Well, not exactly on demand, but their interviews feature is the next best thing.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me everything.
Imagine having access to a library of over 120,000 practice interview questions.
Wait, 120,000? Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. And these aren't just your basic tell me about yourself questions either. They're tailored to specific roles and skills.
Wow. Okay, that's actually incredible. So instead of just like winging it and hoping for the best.
You can practice answering the exact types of questions you're likely to get in a real interview. It's like having a cheat sheet for your interview.
Sign me up. But even with all the practice in the world, sometimes I still freeze up in the moment. Yeah, like a deer in headlights. It's not pretty.
Don't worry, RoleCatcher has an answer for that too, and this is where it gets really cool.
Okay, you can't just leave me hanging with a really cool spill the beans. What's the magic solution for interview freeze-ups?
Okay, I'm getting to it. So remember how we talked about RoleCatcher having that massive library of practice interview questions?
Yeah, the 120,000 questions thing. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
Well, it gets even better. Their AI improvements feature is like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Wait, hold on. A coach in my pocket. How does that even work?
Basically, you practice answering those questions.
All 120,000 of them.
Well, maybe not all of them.
That's a relief.
But you pick the ones that are relevant to the jobs you want, and you can actually record yourself answering them. Then the AI analyzes your performance.
Whoa, seriously. It's like a robot judge for my interview skills.
Kind of, but it's more like a super helpful friend who gives you honest feedback.
So it's not going to be like, you sound boring, next.
Definitely not. It's all about helping you improve. The AI looks at things like your tone of voice, your pacing, how clearly you're speaking, even if you're like saying, too much.
Oh gosh, I'm the queen of, please tell me it can break me of that habit.
It can definitely help. It gives you personalized tips on how to sound more confident, enthusiastic, and persuasive. Because let's face it, a lot of times how you say something can be just as important as what you say, especially in an interview.
That's so true. I've definitely bombed interviews because I got flustered and couldn't articulate my thoughts clearly, even if I knew the answers. It's like my brain just shuts down under pressure.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
But that's what's so cool about RoleCatcher. It gives you a safe space to practice, get feedback, and build that confidence before you ever step into a real interview.
I love that. It's like having a whole support system in your back pocket.
Exactly. And speaking of support systems, let's talk about the premium version of RoleCatcher.
Oh, there's a premium version, so like even more bells and whistles.
You could say that. It's called RoleCatcher Copilot AI, and it takes things to a whole new level.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. Give me the details. What makes Copilot so special?
Well, remember how we talked about tailoring your resume to each job description?
Yeah, that was like step one.
Right. Well, Copilot takes that same concept and applies it to your cover letter.
Oh, see, now that's where I struggle. Resumes I can handle, but cover letters always feel impossible.
It's a common pain point, but Copilot makes it so much easier. It analyzes the job description and helps you craft a cover letter that's not just a list of your skills, but a compelling story that directly addresses the company's needs and showcases your unique strengths.
So it's about like painting a picture with your words instead of just listing facts.
Exactly. And that's what makes Copilot so powerful. It helps you tell your story in a way that resonates with the reader and makes you stand out from the competition.
Okay, that's huge. Because I feel like so many cover letters just sound the same.
Exactly. And with Copilot, you can be sure that your cover letter is anything but generic.
Okay, I'm sold. What else can Copilot do?
Well, remember that AI feedback we were talking about for the interview practice?
Yeah, the pocket coach thing.
Right. Well, Copilot takes that to a whole new level by digging deeper into how you communicate.
Okay, is this going to analyze my every breath and tell me to smile more?
It's not quite that intense. But Copilot uses AI to analyze things like your tone of voice, your pacing, even your word choice, and it gives you really specific feedback on how to sound more confident and persuasive.
It's like having a communication coach and a career of mentor all rolled into one. This co-pilot sounds amazing.
It really is a game changer, and I think that's what makes RoleCatcher as a whole so powerful. It's not just about navigating the technical aspects of the job search. It's about giving you the tools to present your best self and tell your story in a way that really resonates.
I love that. It's all about empowering job seekers to take control of their careers. It's like, stop playing the game by someone else's rules and start writing your own story.
Exactly. And speaking of writing your own story, that's the thing I want everyone listening to remember. You got it. It's not about trying to be someone you're not. It's about understanding how to communicate your authentic self in a way that resonates in today's job market.
Okay, I like that. So it's like, be yourself, but with a little AI boost.
Exactly. And I think that's a good segue into our final thought for today's deep dive. We've talked a lot about the challenges of the job search in this age of AI with algorithms and all that.
Yeah, it can feel kind of scary, to be honest. Like, are robots going to take over the world and my job prospects?
Right. It's easy to feel powerless, like you're just one resume in a million.
Totally. Like, what can I even do to stand out?
Well, that's the thing. You're not powerless. Platforms like RoleCatcher, they're flipping the script. They're giving you the tools to understand how these systems work so you can use that knowledge to your advantage.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
So how do we go from feeling powerless to powerful in the job search?
By remembering that you have something unique to offer. You have skills, experiences, a story that no algorithm can replicate.
It's like that saying, you are the only you there is.
Exactly. And platforms like RoleCatcher, they just help you amplify that unique you. They help you tell your story in a way that cuts through the noise and connects with the right people.
I love that. So instead of being afraid of the algorithms,
Learn how to work with them, use them to your advantage.
yes, become the algorithm whisperer.
Haha, exactly. And I think that's the most important takeaway from today's deep dive. Yes, the job search can be tough. AI is changing the game, but it doesn't have to be a scary thing. You've got this.
You heard it here first, folks. Don't let the robots win. Embrace the technology, find the tools that work for you, and never, ever, ever underestimate the power of your own story.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's a wrap on another deep dive. Huge thanks to everyone for listening.
And happy job hunting.
We'll catch you next time with more insights and strategies to help you navigate the ever-evolving world of work.